Hello, sunshines. Welcome back to this beautiful day. Let's get ready. I hope you slept well. How did you sleep? I'm gonna try this Revlon Color Grip Matte Primer on my face today. This actually says it's gonna be 16-hour shine and oil control, which y'all know I do have some oily skin. My skin usually gets really oily, especially at the 30-minute mark. How was your week? You know, Thanksgiving is coming up. Do you guys have plans for Thanksgiving? I think I'm gonna have a pot roast, because you guys remember in the Gordon Ramsay pub that I showed in my Vegas vlog, that short ribs that they had are really, really good. So I'm gonna attempt to try to make that. So this primer went on really, really thick. Now, I do kind of like, I don't know. This primer went on really thick. So I think it is going to be very effective for oil control, especially if it has that powder in it. You know what I'm talking about when I say it's got a powder in it? It's almost like you pre-powdered your face. It reminds me a lot of the Smashbox primer. This one, it's like a thicker consistency. It kind of feels like a starchy consistency. All right, next product. This is also from the drugstore. This is the Revlon Color Stay Skin Awaken. It's got caffeine and vitamin C in it. It's 24-hour wear, 2-in-1 concealer, corrects and conceals. So I believe it's 2-in-1 because it's got those caffeine and vitamin C in there, which should treat your skin, help keep it moisturized, which you all know under the eyes, we want those to stay brightened. And got 002, so we'll swatch that. And the drugstore is such a great place to go find makeup, especially because it's super easy to return if it's not your shade color. It does have this applicator, and that is the color 002 on my skin. You can see it's got a pinky undertone. So this is great for cool toned people. And now we will swatch the 025. And this is going to be a little bit warmer. I can already tell from the packaging. And look at that. It's actually gliding on very smoothly. It's more of a liquid, watery consistency. So you can see this is the 025. It's a warm tone. And it's coming across slightly yellow, which is great to counteract that purple and blue if you have dark under eyes. Yellow is a really good balancer for that. Okay. All right, I'm gonna put this on my under eyes first. And yeah, I like using a wet beauty blender. You know what's cool is I used to love that Maybelline with the sponge applicator. Great for traveling. You know, that way you don't need to bring 2 sponges. Look how bright my under eye is. But yeah, I decided for my singing class, I'm gonna sing that Hamilton song. You guys know the song. I mean, you'll be back, time will tell. You remember that I served you well. Oceans rise. This is the Maybelline Fit Me. Empires fall. We have seen each other through it all. This 120 is almost the exact same color as that 025. If this Maybelline color works for you, then for a concealer, this is gonna be a good one. I don't know why like makeup brand companies don't come out with like this huge chart like a gigantic chart where it's got every single color a makeup brand has in every single consistency and product, and matches it to the other brands. Because what that would do for me is I could be like, okay, I know I am 260 bisque N in Lancome, so according to this chart, the closest matching one for me in, I don't know, Revlon, Maybelline is such and such color, and then I could just order the right color, or at least order something close to the right color. I swear, I literally just end up, look, I end up, because I'm terrible at color matching myself, I end up with stuff like this because I don't know how to color match myself. That's what I end up with. So I wish companies, if you're out there, would figure out a way to tell me, hey, especially brands that are related to, like Lancome's related to L'Oreal, related to Estee Lauder. I mean, they know what color's similar. So I don't end up with 500 foundations, you know what I'm saying? That's my concealer. That's basically the whole thing. That's basically the whole thing. That's the whole thing. I've just seen that all I did was my eyebrows, but I'm gonna go into my my Stila palette. You guys seen that new TikTok where the girl, she like makes herself look like really old, and then she like dips down and the music starts and she's like insanely gorgeous? I kind of want to try out like looking insanely gorgeous. So I'm going to try like a blue look. So I'm going to use this light blue and then this dark blue. And then I'll also go in with this like black just to smoke out the lash. So I was watching a video of a makeup artist on TikTok, and she was recreating this like super glam look based on another TikToker who does the old lady to super modelly. And she was like, if she can transform into that, then I can too. And she transforms her face into it. And then she says, like 99% certain the other girl uses a filter. And it's crazy how, like, it's crazy how much people use filters and then they don't tell anyone that they use filters. Because I could sit here for like hours trying to make my face or my makeup look as good as the people online, and without the filter it just doesn't look the same. You know what I mean? This is so much brighter than I thought it was. Cute for the 80s though. Like the show Goldberg. I did background on the show Goldberg. They booked me, believe it or not, they booked me to play a middle schooler. Because if you've ever seen the show, it's based on a family and the kids are in middle school. So they hired me to be a middle schooler. So I like showed up at 6 a.m. and was there for the middle school scene, and then I stayed on to do like a audience scene because the characters were going to a basketball game. So I stayed on to be like an audience person. But I remember they gave me these super, super cute skinny jeans from H&M. They looked so good on me and they were so comfortable. And then my hair, I basically just had my hair. But that show was filmed on the lot, so whenever shows are filmed on the lot, instead of providing food, they'll have what's called a takeaway meal, which is basically they give you the hour off so you can do whatever you want, go wherever you want, but you have to go to the cafeteria and buy your own food and pay for your own food. Which is very rare. Like, of all the background jobs I did, I think only like 3 were ever takeaway. Because a lot of times they don't want to give you the full hour. So what they'll do is they'll take a penalty, which is where they'll just pay you like an extra, I don't know, like $50 or something. And you don't get a full hour lunch. Instead, you'll get maybe like a half hour or something. But they do that just for schedule and to stay on schedule. So this blue eyeshadow has turned me into Mimi from the Drew Carey show, which I was not intending on doing. So I'm gonna go in with the black and just fill this in with black, and then maybe, I don't know, try to fix it later. But yeah, most of the shows that I ever worked on they provide catering, which the only, like, it's cool that they give you food, but you don't get to pick like you don't get to pick what you want to eat. So it's like, if they have like pasta, then that's what it is. It's pasta that day. But then like the main celebrities, they'll usually have like their own food ordered in. The other thing about background work is there's a difference between union and non-union. So oftentimes they'll set up craft tables, and one will be for the crew, and then one will be for the non-union background. And that's very common in sets that have a lot of background. But I kid you not, the Good Place, which I went to a lot and worked on, the craft table consisted of a decanter of coffee. So picture like a metal decanter of coffee, and then boxes of Costco size Oreos, so maybe like 3 Costco boxes of Oreos, and then 1 bin of cheese balls. That was it. Cheese puffs. 1 bin of cheese puffs. And then I think it was, and then a Gatorade. Like, you know those Gatorade things that they have at sports, on the sidelines of sports, and at the end of the game they like toss it over the coach? They had that full of water, and that was the food for the Good Place. I mean, if you ask me, Oreos are pretty bomb, you know, but like, man cannot live off of coffee and Oreos for 12 hours. So that set was the worst. I think I even had to bring snacks at some point, because that was just kind of like, the thing about set 2 is you're on the clock the full day. So there's no like walking away, going to your car. In fact, oftentimes you'll park miles away from the actual set, and then a van will come and pick you up in the morning. So oftentimes you're nowhere near your car, and obviously you can't go home for your lunch break. So you're basically stuck there until you're released at the end of the day. And it's crazy because when you're not in the union, there's no like guidelines or outside of like federal guidelines, which state employees have to have access to a restroom, they have to have access to fresh water. There's really no like rules about like treating non-union, especially with food and stuff. I was also on the set of I think it was the Ezekiel movie with Denzel Washington, and we filmed that out on the Santa Monica Pier. And in the beginning of the day, they had like a craft table set up, and when there's like a really big calling, like for background, when there's like around 200 people or something, what they'll do is they'll stagger the people coming in. So some people will show up at 5, some will show up at 5:15, some will show up at 5:30, and all the way up until 7:30. That way they can push people through hair and makeup, push people through like the food and not the food, but you know, costuming and stuff. So I was one of the first people to arrive on that set, so it was just me and like 5 other people, probably around like 5 in the morning at the Santa Monica Pier. So when I got there wasn't anything to eat, and so I was thinking, well, they'll probably have food like soon. So went through hair and makeup and stuff, and then finally someone came in and actually started yelling at people. They were like, the food, we are going to set up a non-union food table, so if you go to the union food table, you know, bring your card with you, otherwise you'll be turned away. And I remember the one girl that had been waiting with me for like the whole morning, she was like, if you want to borrow my union card to go get something off the table, like, here, you can have it. That's ridiculous. I can't believe you guys have been here since 5 and they haven't fed you. Because it was about like 9 o'clock. So yeah, I mean, that's just like the, I don't know, that's just how bad it can get on sets. I've also heard stories of like, the other issue is like sometimes they'll film outside. This one girl told me she was working on like an HBO thing, which, not to like drag on HBO or anything, but like I did 2 of their shows. One was Insecure and one was something else. They never had any food for us or even water. On the show Insecure, they had us filming at the Staples Center, and the Staples Center had shut off their water for the water fountains because they weren't in use. So when we were there for 3 hours and I said, you know, I really like want to take some Tylenol, I'm like getting dehydrated and it's giving me a headache, they said, go use the water from the water fountain. And then I went to the water fountain to find that it wasn't working. And then they said, tough luck. Tough luck, toots. But I don't know what it is with HBO. I don't know if they're just like really stingy or something, but they never had good luck on their sets when it came to like food and drink. The other weird thing about that one is it was another where we showed up super early, and so my wardrobe got approved like that morning, and then we didn't even work until the afternoon. And as soon as we got on set, they like dragged like 20 of us and were like, what are you wearing? Who approved that? And basically accused us of like being poorly dressed. And I remember she was like, no wardrobe would have put you in that. She's basically like accusing me of like not going to wardrobe or something. It was really weird. And then there was nothing she could do because wardrobe wasn't nearby, so they just ended up using us anyways because they had to, because it was like a stadium sequence. But I just remember that was like so weird. It was rude, actually. It was really rude. All I did, I really don't like my eye look, but I don't think there's anything else I can do. I think it's just... Oh, I will say that I did have some good times on different sets. The set of Home Again, which is a movie with Reese Witherspoon. First off, I got to see Reese Witherspoon in person, which grew up on Legally Blonde. Love her. And it was just like a tiny little setup inside a bar. But yeah, I showed up to set that day and they were just giving us like union vouchers, which is, you need like, if you get a union voucher, it means they treat you like your union that day. They pay you like your union. Life is just so much like better. So yeah, that was like a highlight of my background experience. Plus, everyone was super nice. Just really, really nice. I remember I accidentally spilled coffee on myself. They were like, it's not a big deal. They're like, it's gonna be dark in there. Nobody's gonna see. Alright, I think I'll put on some blush. Let's use this pink. If I go for pink, I'm definitely gonna look like Mimi. I think we should just do khaki. We're gonna do like a light brown color for our cheeks. It's gonna look like that. I can say definitively this look is not looking like the girl on TikTok. She was definitely using a filter. I'm just gonna put that brown like around my face. But yeah, it's definitely not easy. They definitely expect a lot out of you. Like, they'll book you the night before and they'll be like, oh, by the way, we need you to wear like business casual, you know, so bring your suits and stuff. Bring 3-piece suits. Meanwhile, I'm like, I don't own a suit. One time for the show Barry, they booked us to be like actors auditioning for a part, and we all had to wear like G.I. Jane style outfits. So I picked out this like super cute like black skinny jeans. It had a rip in the knees, and then black sort of like motorcycle boots, but like no like zippers or anything exposed. It was just like a sleek motorcycle boot. And then a v-neck t-shirt, like a black v-neck, and then a green camo, like green khaki military style zip up like jean jacket. And I looked so cute. Like, I looked like I was about to go be on like Tomb Raider or something. And I as soon as I showed up, they go, you can't wear that. They said my outfit was too similar to the lead actress. So they handed me a teeny tiny camo spaghetti strapped tank top to put on and these hideous brown heeled boots like from Target. I think they even had like a flower on them. They were like brown heeled boots with a flower. Put them on. I looked so terrible. I don't know, you guys have never seen me in a spaghetti strap, but there's a reason. I have insanely broad shoulders and a teeny tiny waist. So basically I look like a V. And if you put a teeny tiny spaghetti strap on a V, I look like a linebacker, like walking around, you know? So yeah, I had to wear that. And then I was super embarrassed. Like, it's funny when it's funny though, like when they put you in something that you don't look good in, like it's like I always just equate it to like, this is how you wanted me to look, so you dressed me. You know, I don't ever like feel insecure or anything, because I'm always just like, well, this is what they want in the background of their scene is a linebacker in a spaghetti strap. That's what they got. And then like during the scene, you can actually see me in the scene because I'm sitting right behind the lead actress when she's delivering her lines. And so they kept coming over to move my hair to cover my shoulders, you know? The hair people kept coming over and fluffing my hair up so it would cover my linebacker shoulders. It's like, that's what you wanted. I take no responsibility for looking poorly. I take no accountability for the way I look right now. That's all on you. So yeah, the only thing I ever did to prepare, like as far as going in for the day, is I would put on foundation, and that's pretty much it. If they wanted me to look like better than that, like, then they would do like my makeup. But otherwise, like, one time I went and they actually gave me a face, like a makeup wipe, and had me remove my makeup. So there's really no point in doing like a full face of makeup for the shows. They usually have an idea of how they want you to look, and they'll either fix you so you look like their idea, or they'll like put you in the back, which is fine too. I'm just putting a little highlighter on my face. I'm actually doing this scene today. It's called Rosemary and Ginger. And it's I'm playing the part of Rosemary. And she's like, it's in 1993, so she's very like, you know, cigarettes, low voice. She's like drinking brandy during the whole scene. So I think this eye makeup is actually gonna work for the scene. I think for lips, we'll just do like an orange lip. And that's the look, very 1993. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you wanna hear more tales of pursuing acting and life in LA, just leave a comment down below. I'm so glad you're here. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new to my channel. And I will see you in the next video.
Yes.
Mimi Bobeck. I'm here for the interview.
Nice to meet you, Mimi. What department are you applying for?
Cosmetics.
Okay, great.